Yo, let's get right into it. It's time for your TLC Hiking Club vid clip. We're just going to call it a vid clip since we don't know if it's weekly or bi-weekly or whatever. Cheers. Top of the morning to you. Yar. Okay, so getting right into it. It's hopefully this will be a shorter one today or this week. Yesterday we just did Clutch the Hutch at Hutch's Pools down in Tucson in Sabino Canyon. Quite an awesome day, and you know, I had actually underestimated this hike as far as its, you know, the beauty and the water, etc., etc. We ended up having to take the tram, as you know, the tram out of the Sabino Canyon Tour Center, out the Sabino Canyon tram. There's two trams, all the way out to tram stop number 9, which is at the end. And then they said it was only a 4-mile hike in, 4 out, but it ended up being about 4.5, 4.6, at least on my GPS, in and out. So 9.1 is what my total mileage had read at the end. But I thought, you know, the water might be a little stagnant. Nope, not at all. The water was moving. The water was cool, especially for the middle of July. Cliff jumping, just everywhere. A great beach area they had. A lot of different cliff jumps that they had as well. We had a blast. A good workout on top of it. Thank you to all those who attended. Getting into the next topic, it's you know, I've mentioned this before briefly. And, you know, and I'll mention it again and you know, try to do this with grace. Those people that RSVP and then always back out at the last minute, it grows frustrating. And maybe I look at this from a different light, you know, because I came from such a background of organized athletics where when you commit to a team, whether it be field hockey, softball, baseball, swimming, equestrian, regardless of what it would be that you committed yourself to, you didn't do no-shows, you didn't, you know, you don't do those things in organized athletics. And I look at the club that we run as an organized athletic venue. I don't look at it and don't view it as, well, if there's nothing else going on in my life, I'll go hiking. You know, I don't look at it like that. And the majority of the people in our club don't look at it like that. But we have a few that are tending to have a track record of RSVPing for an event, and then on top of it, blogging and threading about the event and carpooling arrangements, taking up space in somebody's vehicle, and then backing out at the last minute or 2 days prior, which causes convolution and could, you know, somebody else that a week earlier that could have really wanted to go but was a little deterred because it couldn't find a place in somebody's vehicle, you took their spot per se, and then 2 days before you back out. You know what I'm saying? So it's vital that you take this a little bit more seriously. And here's another way that I look at it, that when you're involved with a club and you're committed wholeheartedly, 100%, to the club, the group, the camaraderie, the friends that you've established, the respect of all of that combined, you usually say, hey, look, this is my nucleus. And everything I do is going to be based around that. It doesn't have to be the only nucleus in your life, but it should be somewhere up the priority food chain. In other words, if you make a commitment a month or 2 out that you're going to do this with your friends that you call us your friends, then if something else comes up, barring it not being an emergency event that puts you in the hospital or a broken bone, something like that, then you should be adhering to what you committed to a month or two before. That's just my own personal opinion on that. I obviously know maybe some people don't look at things that way. Unfortunately, I just ask you to be a little bit more cognizant of that and other people's feelings, other people that may want to go, but you took up their spot early on type of thing in a carpool or whatever. So just to ask you to be a little bit more cognizant of that. I mean, are you in or are you not in? You know what I mean? This half lukewarm type of stuff. Again, I just don't understand that. If you're committed to the group, then be committed to the group. And I'm not saying you've got to go on every hike. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that if you took the time to RSVP, people acknowledge your RSVP, are happy that you're going to go, are going to enjoy your camaraderie, want to see you there, have put a place in their vehicle for you, then don't be flaking out a day, 2 days, 3 days before the event because Aunt Nanny's coming into town. Who cares? Aunt Nanny can deal without you for a couple of hours while you're on a hike. I don't know. Anyhow, moving on. Our next hike, the Hanging Gardens, August the 3rd. Obviously, this hike has a lot of popularity. A lot of people have signed up for the hike. And it's going to be a fantastic, phenomenal experience. Another paradise in Arizona. I hope people have read the blogs and stayed tuned. Swimming, there's going to be a lot of swimming. Yes, you will be in water. Yes, you do need a dry, safe pack. Yes, you're not going to avoid the water. Yes, you do need to get into somebody else's vehicle, four-wheel drive. Can you do it without a four-wheel drive? You're gambling. And here's why. From the blogs and the trip logs that I've read, is that you could probably muster it on a regular pickup truck, two-wheel drive, but if it rains, you're going to be screwed. So, and up there in the Mogollon Rim, there's a chance that you get rain every afternoon. Excuse me. So, if you want to gamble on two-wheel drive, it's entirely up to you. I don't recommend it, but that's one of the reasons why we're starting early on this next hike, is because we should be done on our way out of that canyon by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, well before any afternoon monsoons. That's one of the reasons why we're starting way early on this particular hike. I think that's about it, guys. With that said, I hope I didn't offend anybody. I hope you understand my side of view on that whole RSVP thing. I know I'm obviously looking at it from a different light because I put the time, the energy, the effort, the research on putting these write-ups out there. And when you're part of our group, when you RSVP and we want to see you, we're looking forward to seeing you. And when you back out at the last minute, it's frustrating. It can be heartbreaking, and on and on. That said, make it a productive week. See you.